We live in them, we walk past them every single day, but how often do we really, truly see them? I'm talking about houses. They are these incredibly complex structures that are kind of hiding in plain sight. So today, we're going to do something fun. We're going to take one apart, piece by piece, just to see how it all works. So let me ask you, straight up, when was the last time you actually looked at a house? I don't mean just glancing at it. I mean, really saw how all the different parts fit together. What are the pieces that are absolutely essential? And what are the little details that give it a unique personality? For this little tour, this incredibly detailed illustration is going to be our guide. Think of it like a map. We're going to go on a journey together, starting right at the street and going all the way up to the tippy top of the chimney to figure out the story behind every single numbered part you see here. Okay, so our journey starts right where any visitors would, from the street. This is what we call the approach. It's that really important space that acts as a bridge between the big public world out there and the private, cozy sanctuary of the home. The very first statement a house makes starts right here with the fence. It's way more than just a physical barrier. It's a psychological line. It's a thing that clearly says, this is public and this is private. It creates that first sense of, this is our space. And of course, if you have a boundary, you need a way to get through it. That's where the gate comes in. This is the official way in. It's the one spot where you're given permission to cross from the outside world into someone's personal space. So it's kind of both a lock and a welcome mat at the same time. The second you step inside that gate, you're greeted by the flower garden. Now, is it essential for shelter? No. But it's absolutely vital for character. This is really the first hint of the people who live inside. It's a splash of color and life that tells you someone cares. And finally, we get to the front step. It's such a small thing, but this little step is the final transition. It literally lifts us up from the ground of the outside world and brings us right to the doorstep, ready to go inside. All right, now that we're standing right at the door, let's look up at the facade. A lot of people call this the face of the house, and it makes sense. These are all the features we interact with up close, the things that give a house its own unique expression. So, the front door really gives us two very different things to do. First, there's how you announce you're there, the knocker, a totally classic way to say hello. And second, how you actually get in, the doorknob. That's the mechanism that lets you cross that final barrier. And all around the entrance, you've got these other key players. The mailbox, that's the house's connection to the rest of the world. Then there's the nameplate, which gives the building a human identity. And the door lamp? Well, that's like a little beacon in the dark, promising it's a safe place to be. Next up, we've got the windows, which, you've probably heard this before, are often called the eyes of the house. They create this amazing two-way connection, right? They let all that beautiful light pour in, but they also let the people inside look out. And it's all made possible by just a few key parts. At the very heart of it all is the window pane. It's so easy to just ignore it, but think about it. This simple sheet of glass is kind of a miracle. It's a totally transparent shield that keeps out the wind and the rain while flooding the inside with light. And framing that window, you had the shutters. Now, originally, these were super practical. They were for privacy or for protection during a storm. But today, a lot of the time, they're really just there for looks, adding a bit of charm and color to the house's face. Okay, now I want you to tilt your head all the way back and look up. We're heading to the rooftop to explore all the parts that have to brave the wind and the rain to keep everything down below safe and dry. Right at the very top, crowning the whole building, is the weathercock. It's part decoration, part simple machine, and it's literally the highest point on the house, designed to do one simple job: catch the wind and show you which way it's blowing. Now, the roof itself is a whole system. It all starts with the ridge. That's the horizontal line at the very peak. From there, you have the roof, which is covered in all these overlapping tiles. It's like the house's main shield against the rain. And finally, you have the eaves, which overhang the walls and cleverly push all that water away from the foundation. Sticking up proudly from that roof is the chimney. This is an outside piece that tells you a story about the inside. It signals that there's a fireplace down below, a source of warmth, really the traditional heart of a home where people gather. And just under the roofline, we can spot two last features. That little attic window hints at a secret storage space tucked away inside. And then, running down the wall, you have the rain pipe. Maybe not the most glamorous part of a house, but absolutely crucial for getting all that water away from the building. For our final stop, let's bring our focus back down to the ground and look at the areas that surround the main house. These are the places where everyday life kind of spills out into the open air. Here we see two different kinds of shelter, but they're for two really important parts of the family, right? The garage is there to protect the car, while the doghouse gives a furry friend their own little space. They're both just smaller versions of what the main house does, protect things from the elements. The backyard is a place where things get done. You see the clothesline, which is just this timeless symbol of daily chores, and right next to it, the kitchen garden, a little plot for growing food. This area just proves that a home is more than its four walls. It's a living space that supports the family inside. So, as we pull back and look at the whole picture, you start to see it. From the walls holding it all together, to the roof keeping it all dry, every single one of the 30 parts we've looked at works together. They're like pieces of a giant, complex machine that create one single working system. A house. But after we've analyzed all these physical parts, the walls, the beams, all of it, you realize that's only half the story. There's this quote that I think says it perfectly. It reminds us there's a huge difference between a house and a home. So what is it? What turns this building into something more? We've just learned the anatomy of the house. But what are the parts that build a home? The memories? The people inside? That feeling of safety and belonging? I guess that's the real architecture to think about the next time you walk up to your front door. Thanks for joining this explainer.